Welcome to a small premiere here at ARCORE Germany, because we have today the first time a Bas-Armagnac. From the Domaine de Jouatmaou, we have the vintage 1992, and I hope you enjoy this review. And you know that when we make the first time a review here at ARCORE Germany for a producer, or in this case for a domain, I always provide you with some information about the domain in this case today. So we have here the Domaine de Jouatmaou, and this domain is located in Freche, close to Lannemaignan. And we start here in the year 934. It was at this time Roger Lacave who bought this domain, and after he returned to this domain after the World War II, the prices for wine were very low, so he decided to distill these wines and start with the production of Armagnac. By the way, they also built nowadays, also at this time when Roger Lacave started with the producing of Armagnac, their own casks. So they used the oak from the estate and built their own casks. And we have the year 974. In this year, it was the son from Roger Lacave who overtook the domain and also got owner in 1987 of this domain. And he had a wife. The wife was named Lise, and she also joined the family business in 1977. And this woman, Lise, had a daughter. And the name of this daughter is Nelly Lacave, and she's the owner of the domain nowadays. So we are here already in the third generation. Since 2014, she runs the company. And the estate has in total 58 hectares, but for the 8 hectares for vineyards. So we have here different kind of grape varieties. We have the Bacco, Feuille Blanche, Uni Blanc, Colombard, and also the Mansing. But they use for the Armagnac production only the Bacco and Feuille Blanche grape variety. And yes, I mentioned already they still use the oak from the estate for making their own cask. And by the way, the house of the domain was built already in 1795, and at this time they had already a cellar, a wine cellar, and this wine cellar has a clay soil, so it's a very humid cellar, and they only bottle their Armagnac by order and always at cask strength. So they don't have a lot of in stock. They just, if you place there an order, then they fill some bottles for you. And we have now all the information together to this domain. Now we start with the review. And we want to have the short look to the bottle of this bottling from the Domaine de Jouatmaou. And so after this review, there will be coming more reviews to some vintages from the Domaine de Jouatmaou. And then you will always recognize the same label and also bottle design. But I like the design and also the bottle design, because we have here this black golden combination with the wax around the bottle head. So this looks very high quality and very nice design in my opinion. And so we have today the Armagnac from the Domaine de Jouatmaou. It's a vintage 1992, bottle in 2025. So this Armagnac is 32 years old. An original bottling from the Bas-Armagnac. We have here 42% cask strength, and so we have over 30 years of maturation, only 42% of alcohol left, so quite low, but I just explained already, we have here very humid cellar, and this can be then the result that we have a very low ABV, and 70 centiliters is the bottle size. They use no additives at the Domaine de Jouatmaou, and the bottle price is €56 for this 1992 vintage. So now we have the information together from this Armagnac, and of course now we want to try it and see how good is it. Let's start with the tasting. So just one little additional notice before we start with the tasting. You can buy this Armagnac, for example, especially this vintage 1992 in different bottle sizes. So I think you can also buy it in a 150 centiliter bottle. So have a look to the website. Different vintages are available in different sizes. But of course the price, which I tell you for an Armagnac, is always for a 70 centiliter bottle. Just in case there is no 70 centiliter, of course, then for example only the 50, then of course for the 50 centiliter bottle, but in general the 70 centiliter bottle. And so we will have a look first to the color, and I think you can see it that it's a very intense dark golden color for me, so very nice color. And of course, if we have a color like this, I expect fruitiness. I expect maybe some light flavors, some gentle flavors. Let's see what we can find here on the nose. Yes, very fruity, but very nice nose, sweet nose. Beautiful, very good. So not a lot of intensity or spiciness, no, definitely more here the fruitiness present for me. So I do have apricot jam, but I also have something like a pineapple jam. Beautiful, a wonderful, fantastic nose, and additionally you have some vanilla flavor, but a very sweet vanilla. So for me it goes even a little bit into the direction of a vanilla ice cream. A little bit, if you like, of some cinnamon, and maybe some macadamia nuts. So yeah, there is a little bit of this cask influence here smellable, but definitely more the fruitiness here. And so at the moment we have midsummer, so very hot outside, and this Armagnac fits perfect now for the higher temperature. So not a heavy Armagnac, definitely more light, gentle Armagnac, even a velvet nose for me. So very nice, beautiful. Let's try it. Santé. Wow. Very nice palate as well. And then, after the palate, you have this great finish, wonderful finish. But first, let's stay at the palate. So this vanilla influence and also a little bit of the cinnamon continues here on the palate. And then you have some very juicy clementines, so the fruitiness is still here. You have some white almonds, a little bit of some licorice. So you can feel here on the palate a little bit more the cask influence than on the nose. Of course, it's still fruity, yes, but I would say fruitiness, cask influence is about half-half here, this part of the palate. And then it continues here to this beautiful and wonderful finish. The finish is not very long, it's a medium long finish for me, but you have beautiful flavors here. Cacao, caramel, you have some roasted almonds, the milk coffee is here. There's also a little bit of some fruitiness, not that intense like on the nose or even on the palate. So more decent fruitiness here with some dried figs, and at the end there is left, I would not say it's a rancio for me. For me it's more something like, it's just a very earthy style. So yeah, so very interesting of course here at the finish, this variation if you like. So I mean, yeah, so the nose is extremely fruity and then it changes a little bit on the palate and again on the finish. But overall, very nice Armagnac. A lot of complexity, a lot of wonderful, beautiful flavors. Of course, a lot of flavors also I like a lot. Yes, so, and let's say it honest here, you pay 56 euro for a 70 centiliter bottle of this fantastic Armagnac, for this quality, for the complexity. Absolutely amazing price in my opinion. So we are really lucky to see so low prices here at the market. Still absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, so nothing definitely to criticize here. I would even say, okay, so the price is here 56 euro. If I would to say a price for an Armagnac like this, so over 30 years, Bas-Armagnac, for Armagnac with these numbers and with the after the tasting, I would definitely pay, let's say, maybe 80, 90 euros, definitely for this good Armagnac. And so, yeah, have a look. It is still available. I don't know how many bottles they have from this vintage, but it's definitely absolutely a recommendation, this Armagnac. And now we want to have a look to the points at the end, of course. So for me, the highlight from the Armagnac is definitely the nose and the finish. These two, very great, fantastic. Of course, the palate was also very good, but for me, the highlight were the nose and the finish with 23 points each and 22 points for the palate. For the overall impression, I just mentioned already what I really like about this Armagnac in combination with this great price value here to 23 points. And so we have in total 91 points for this Armagnac from the Domaine de Jouatmaou. Absolutely recommendation, and have a look. So I don't know if you ever heard from this domain before you see this review here. If you ever had something from this domain, of course, leave a comment. What do you think? Which vintage do you have? Well, was there a special vintage where you like very much? Or yeah, leave a comment if you like. And yes, so it's definitely something I look really forward now to try also the other vintages. So yes, this was a great start here for the series from the Armagnac from the Domaine de Jouatmaou, and really look forward to try all the other vintages together here with you, of course, on my YouTube channel. By the way, if you're interested when the next Armagnac reviews for this domain will appear, then have a look here to the schedule of my website. There you will find it under new reviews, which reviews will come next, and also when the next Armagnac review from the Domaine de Jouatmaou will appear. Thank you very much for watching this review here today. I really hope you like it. If you do so, leave a thumb up, and of course subscribe my channel if you don't have a subscription yet. Have a wonderful and great time, and see you next time here soon. Bye bye.